Mm. Test, test, test. I can hear me. But can I hear the other things? There. That. Now I can hear that. Very well. Oh, hi. Boopity boopity boom. Happy Monday, Monday. Monday. How's your Monday going? Do do do. That'll wake you up. Wait, come on, ZAXXON. Like Zax don't. Wake up. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. 10,000 kilobytes per second. That doesn't seem. Hmm. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, Domo. Why is it so cold in South Carolina? Excellent query. I would say no good reason. I cannot think of a single reason why that would be. But you are correct. Went from being fairly comfortable to all of a sudden, and it's I think it's a wet cold is the problem, right? I think that's the main problem. Maybe I should look at the right screen. All right. Can I shoot those? I think so. I can shoot those, though. Shoot that wall, but it doesn't do anything. Oh, wait a minute. Up on my own. Oh, that's not good. That was no good at all. No good at all. It's almost 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And what? It was almost 7 degrees Fahrenheit in New Jersey. That is crazy. Bad pour. Oh, hi. How's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're having a good Monday, Tuesday, wherever in the world you are. Got my coffee going on. Yeah. Got a little coffee? A little coffee? I got my streaming machine. Well, I got my hard drive from my streaming machine back. Machine. It was only gone, let's see, from what, around the end of November to what, last Friday? That's all it took for Western Digital to transfer my information over to SanDisk, get the confirmation that I had a bad hard drive, make me an RMA sticker, approve me properly after several chats, send it off, wait close to a month, and then finally get it back. And then over the weekend, I set my machine back up. So I am not going to be surprised if we have some tech issues tonight because you know how it is. I do see me dropping some frames though, which is odd. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. After my crash last fall, we we actually redesigned our OBS setup, so I haven't tried it on this new machine yet. At least not live action, right? Not live action. We are trying to play this as close to as intended as possible here, using joystick, which is what you would see in the arcade. Oddly, it seems to be pulling to the right when I'm going down. Is that just normal? Unsure. This is the isometric arcade game, the first isometric arcade game, well, in popular release anyway. The arcade. Oh, I just died. Look at that. My fuel was very low. It didn't matter. I wasn't going to. Had big love for ZAXXON back in the day. Big love. Now, you may notice I still have my PS2 out from last week, and one of the reasons why is because I downloaded. I have a copy of the Sega Genesis collection for the PS2 that has an unlockable for ZAXXON. Also was still in the process of adding this hard drive to the system. Ordered this off Amazon because it could be here the next day. I didn't read. This is an adapter, a SATA adapter, which was not the standard for the PS2. And I assumed it had the network port because there's a picture of it. If you look at the sticker says do not plug your phone cable into here. And this right here would be where a network cable would go. So this would have the real deal adapter has it does not do SATA, by the way. The real deal adapter, IDE, I believe, had the network card as well. This does not, even though it was listed as having it. I went through the comments and realized, oh, other people had noticed the same thing I did. So I'm probably just going to keep it because I have several PS2 FATs. I'm going to take my time because the most important part was getting the hard drive really to get it working. So the network was secondary. I do want to try it just for completeness sake. There you go. I hope you're having a good Monday, Tuesday. As we said, this week we're covering, for the Play Retro Show, we're covering ZAXXON. ZAXXON at the arcade, the first internationally released isometric game. I think there was one other game that also was competing for the claim, but so I guess they had to like be very specific. The first well-known internationally released isometric game. There we said it. Arcade. ZAXXON actually refers to the axon metric was axon. It's the actual how it's actually displayed. Isometric is not actually technically the proper term, I believe. Oh, look at that! I crashed right into that. It seems like it's loud in my ears, but it doesn't seem to be very loud. Oh, but that just seems like that is just a screamer right there. I do want to enjoy the music because it is an arcade game. It's supposed to be kind of loud, right? Also the first arcade game that had a commercial, which I think we'll watch here very shortly, but maybe we shouldn't. I think it was Paramount made it, I believe, for Sega. This is a Sega game, by the way. This is their really first self-developed game that was a hit, I think. I think they had published Frogger before, but that wasn't their... They didn't develop it. They were just the publisher, right? This was definitely the biggest hit they had up until that point. Arcade. They had Periscope and stuff, but those are more mechanical arcade machines than the ones we think about. The enemy plane is 20. We're in the first fortress of ZAXXON. You need to shoot the fuel barrels To obtain fuel, you need to avoid. That is a force field. One thing you want to do here, though, is shoot those planes. You'll notice that it says enemy plane equals 17. Oh, shoot, I'm not running into them. Oh, look at that. It's monkey bananas, but we're trying to get back on schedule. And that schedule may actually be something that we change. We've typically done Monday, Wednesday, but we may be moving to a Tuesday. That's a lock on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's go up a little bit. Got an altimeter. An altimeter over. Oh, he ran right into me. Suicide bombing. Oh, hi, monkey. How's it going? We were only 4 enemy planes away from clearing the enemy planes. You can, on that first, I'm going to be telling you a lot of things you probably didn't know about ZAXXON tonight, because I certainly didn't know it until I started doing some research. Had I played ZAXXON back in 1982? Well, I was 10 years old. I certainly did not read arcade instructions. How I played it was to step up, drop my coin, just do pull up and down on that joystick, which is what we're doing today. We're using it's got a flight stick. The arcade machine had a flight stick, so I'm using my Thrustmaster to kind of simulate that experience. There was only one fire button. It was fire. There was a fire button on the board or on the control panel. And there was I believe it must have been was it a 8-way? It wouldn't matter. It's only really 4, only up and down, really. No, it's not. It's not true. It's left and right, too. So it's 4. Is it 4-way? We'll have to look it up here in a minute. Find out. What am I doing? Probably should post this on social media, because I've been off my schedule lately, and I don't know if everybody knows when I'm streaming currently, so let's actually post that. Last couple of weeks have been kind of rough. And between being sick and having some family sickness as well. So been trying to catch up. Why did this go back? That. Interesting. I don't think I hit that. Did I accidentally hit that? Did I hit that? Hit that. Let's see if X is even up today. Oh, that's right. Oh, I have to sign into all my social media things too, because this is my stream machine is back up, and it is partially reconfigured. Monkey, how's it been going? Bad Poor? Ambassador Domo, how has your week been so far? Hope it's been a good one. Last week, we played some SSX 1, 2, and 3, including one of my favorites now, the tricky one, which is the only one I really played back in the day. Domo can confirm, not bad. So, I've been looking. I'm here in the U.S., right? And so there's a couple of things we're concerned with right now. Price of imports, like tariffs. And I'm getting a little bit annoyed with the amount of, how you say, tech bros in my daily life, including, social media and purchasing. And there's something I've been meaning to do for a really long time, which is just really not use Amazon as much if I can help it. That's not really a political statement. It's just more like I need to support the smaller developers anyway. So I'm pretty lucky. Most of all this craziness is going on right now doesn't really affect me that much. I know it affects other people that I know. So um, that sucks. But tariffs and eggs, right? So we're looking at we've been teasing the idea of recession, everything else. So hey, whatever. All right, that's not important. That's not important. What the important part is this: I'm in the U.S., so I'm looking for U.S. distributors of electronics and stuff. Now, if they had to pass on the prices of stuff they're importing as well, I get that. But I'm going to start being more patient, waiting for things like I ordered this off Amazon in a rush. This is just a SATA adapter because I knew I could get it in a day or two. And I still order off eBay a good bit because I'm a retro gamer. But this new hardware tech, sometimes I just order off Amazon because it's the quickest and easiest, right? I can just order it. And a lot of places have their stores on here already. So, either go to Ambernick and order it from their warehouse, or I can order it from Amazon. It still comes from basically Ambernick because they have a store set up there. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is this: I would like to find some places in the U.S. I could order from, like if I wanted to order a PS2 SATA adapter, where can I go other than Amazon, right? Yeah, Twitter has been hit by a DDoS attack all day, which is fine. Whatever. That's life. That's modern life, right? Modern life is occasionally dealing with DDoS attacks because of statements, right? Somebody somewhere is trying to make a statement. It's just it is. I'll sign into Blue Sky. But I'm here for mostly a distraction. So, but it doesn't mean that I'm untouched by that kind of stuff. I don't like to talk about it much because there's plenty of people already talking about it. And trust me, I talk about things in my personal life and things that I can actually control. I'm not here as a mouthpiece for none of that stuff, right, Tex? I'm here to distract and to have, a retreat away from modern life, whether it be because of the rush of daily life, or if it's because of whatever, a threat to your existence, whatever it may be. We all need a retreat from time to time, and this is my retreat too. So this is my retreat, not escapism. I'm not escaping to the past with retro stuff. I'm mostly exploring things I didn't get a chance to either play or things that I want to know more about. So I'm kind of running through this historical thing that I'm doing, and it really gives me joy, right? Oh, Tex got great news. You're going to play some video. I'm here to play video games, Tex, right? Domo says, is CDW any good anymore? So that's a good question. I do use CDW for stuff like for work and stuff, but I don't know. Do they do like electronics and stuff? That's a good question, Ambassador Domo. Monkey says, would be cool if we all thought of some options and made a list of where to buy things like what you're talking about. Right. It's not that because I want to like close the borders, I must buy American, which is great. I love supporting. The more local I can be, if I can buy it from my neighbor, that's ideal. That's kind of how I see life. I'm like, ideally, it just kind of branches out. Whatever's the closest, but you also have to measure it in with what is, what fits within my budget, fits in my time frame of interest, so a lot of balancing stuff. But that's usually my preference. It's like, support the people down the street, support my neighbor because he has bills to pay too, And so, but right now, because of things, looking at some options other than Amazon. Not there's anything wrong with Amazon. You may continue to use Amazon, and I will still use Amazon from time to time. Got to be a little more thoughtful about it, Like I ordered this adapter and ended up not even being the right thing, and I got in a hurry because I wanted to get it in a hurry. But really, it's going to take me all week to get to where I need to be anyway. So, what was I really in the hurry for? I don't know. Texas, I'm one step closer to starting my streaming career. Very good, Tex. I'm pulling for you. I am pulling for you. You got this. Zach from Utah says, so are we going to stay online today? It's been hit and miss for me to catch you. Oh, yes. So that's the idea, Zach. And so we had some technical issues, including a hard drive that crashed on us late last year. And we got that back over the weekend. So we're setting things back up. It does seem odd because usually the my upload is usually like 6,000 kilobytes per second. Right now it's at 10,000. So I think whenever I set this up, I just told it to do its own measurements this time around. I guess it decided that was the proper thing, but I don't know if that's a problem. I don't know if that's a problem or not, because I think Twitch can only handle like 6,000 or something like that anyway, or it's like if at 1080, I think that's supposed to be the most efficient, but I don't know. Hope I'm not. I hope I'm not like, I don't know what it is when you put more out there. I don't know. Oh, Domo, Newegg is a great place. That's a good point. Now I've really been getting into like the fast McBoot stuff. I really like stuff that is made by community members and stuff like the MX was this 4 or 5 IO add-on stuff, like, but yeah, that's not a bad idea. Newegg would be a good place for me to look. You're right. Monkey says, here are some non-Amazon options I can think of that I've bought from Sweetwater, eBay, Micro Center, Central Computers, ABT Electronics. I haven't thought about those guys in forever. B&H. Now, I don't know anything about those companies and if it would be any better buying from any of those people. Never heard of Central Computers. I do know that Micro Center is kind of a bummer for me because I love Micro Center, but I live like an hour and a half away from, maybe even 2 hours. I think it's close to 2 hours. I think the closest Micro Center I live near is, actually, it might be closer to 3. So anyway, it's definitely more than 2. All right. And they won't, a lot of stuff they won't ship. And that's annoying. But I get it too. For refurb stuff, back market or black market? Refurb stuff. So let's take a look here. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Because what I have been doing is this. There's a bunch of places that I really like, but they ended up being in Europe a lots of times, which I don't mind ordering stuff from Europe. And I don't mind paying, the tariffs go up a little bit and I have to pay a little bit more. That's fine. If I'm already spending, $100 on a retro piece of thing and it ends up being 125, hey, it's the only place I can get it from, hey, all good. It's all good. So there was something I was looking for recently. Okay, so like RetroTink, they've got the new cheaper alternative to what they had. Another place too that's really cool that I just got my flippy drive from. But where are they located? All right, floppy drive. So Crowd Supply, that's the name of the place. So let's take a look at that real quick. Looking at some retro stuff real quick. We're going to get back to playing some ZAXXON, but just kind of crowdsourcing a little bit of a little thought here, right? A little thought. This is the flippy drive that I got for my GameCube recently. Pretty cool. It's a no solder solution. So you get a little ribbon cable, you get a little PCB board here that has a SD card reader in it. You can't see what I'm pointing at. So let me see if I can capture cursors right there, but I don't think it's showing it. Oh, there it is. Like maybe I just need to zoom in. So here we go. So here's the flippy drive. Okay, so you can't see it. All right. So see right here. This is the little they send a 3D printed little adapter. You don't have to cut anything on your GameCube. It's basically just take off a couple of screws, maybe 12 screws total. This disassembles very easily. You got to do a little bit of folding. This kind of something never done before with ribbon cables, but It wasn't hard or anything. And then you just stick it right in there, baby. But this place is called Crowd Supply, which has a whole bunch of little little projects here. But it was okay. It just took a long time because it was, it's crowdfunded. So it's like, hey, we got a thing we're making. Pre-order now. So this is not something you can typically get in a hurry, but it's something that I've been, I look at. Got all kinds of really cool projects on here though. Um, Stuff you wouldn't really ever think of. Flippy Drive doing very well. Doing very well. Yeah, that's the Lime SDR Mini, an open source full duplex USB stick software defined radio. Oh. Well, look at that. Ooh, the Walter. Oh, look at that. I don't know what the crap that is, but look at that. Ooh, the Diabolical Drive. Look at all these cool projects people are working on. I hate them so much. I want all of them right now. All of them right now. All right, let's see here. What was I looking at? Oh, so I was looking at the PS2 because there was something I did want to see. So, like going to Time Extension. It's a pretty good resource for a lot of hardware stuff. They're more recent. Time Extension used to be a really good place for me to go and just kind of get caught up in the general stuff, but they've gotten so deep into stuff lately. It's like some of the stuff I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but I don't have time to read. Like finding out Panzer Dragoon turns 30 today. That's cool. I like that. They've got some really good deep dives and stuff, but like for just jumping in and reading stuff, sometimes I'm like, oh, I ain't got time for all that, man. I wish it was kind of like a somewhere in between. But this it does keep me abreast of some of these really cool projects. There's the MemCard Pro. So let's see, what is this? This is the MCP2. So the 25 years is how old the PS2 is this year, by the way. Originally released as a FAT format. Kind of have right here. This is not the original. This is one that's a little later revision. It comes with it's the R. It's the 3001R, which is that the remote control? I think that's what it stands for. It has the IR and stuff, I think, on it. I think that's the thing. I think that's the deal with this one. I kind of read my news feed as I'm following. Yeah, right. I love time extension as well. It's just sometimes I'm like, I used to like it better when it was just a little more general. Now I feel like I've got to keep up with a million projects here. Okay, so is this just okay, so this is an app. So is there like MemCard Pro, features of your MemCard Pro can be used as Bluetooth. So that must be the software. Okay. Who was this talking, Tonda, about where to get some, kind of some retro equipment? Because I'm trying to do a little bit better. I ordered this off Amazon, little SATA adapter for my PS2. I thought it was going to come with a network adapter, which is usually behind this little sticker. But not only does not have that, they went through all the effort of putting a sticker on it that says, do not use your telephone line here. And that's where the network goes. This kind of dirty pool, because it looks like it's covering up and down. Definitely intentional. And almost all of them do it too. Dirty. What are my watch hours looking like? That's a good question. Text. Look. Oh, look, it's Hypertron. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, hi. It's Twofer. Somebody remembers ZAXXON, Puppy Kitten Trial. Let's play a few minutes of ZAXXON here real quick, and then we're going to get back to our discussion on where to get some retro hardware, just equipment and just projects and stuff, other than, our typical go to Amazon. Like I said, I picked this up because it was fast, and then I got it and I realized it didn't need to be fast. Why did I make it? Why did I get it fast? I felt like I had to get on Amazon so I could get it fast, but why? On ZAXXON, this Sega classic at the arcade. Isometric looking the ship is not ZAXXON. The ship is actually just a ship. You're a hero. Oh, I flew right into the missile silo there. So you'll notice that there's enemy planes here. Oh, I ran into that one. But it did take it off. Look at that. So enemy planes. And that's important because after you get out of the fortress, interesting. So I was right there at it. Why didn't I ran into it, but I couldn't shoot it? That's weird, right? All right. What's crazy is I can use the PS2 emulator to play EverQuest online on my PC. That Tonda, right? Hopefully I'm close to 4,000. We'll take a look at that here very shortly, Tex. Um, Tonda says you think they could make an adapter that uses modern broadband. Good point. You do have one, and there is some stuff you can do, like especially like with file transfers or playing. You used OPL yet? OPL is the primary piece of software I'm using, running off this fast McBoot uh, memory card that then allows me to use this MX, whatever the crap number this is, that takes SD cards, and I'm putting a hard drive in here so that I can be more efficient. I don't know if the speed is as fast. I haven't done any research yet, but I don't know if the speed is as fast on here. But I'll tell you what, trying to play the SSX for the PlayStation, the original PlayStation 2, it was a launch title, emulating it is tough. And so it played the best on here, but I think it could have played even a little bit better if I could have done it on the hard drive. My CD drive on this machine, the CD side still works. The CD laser side still works, but it's got a DVD laser as well. And that is not reading consistently, very inconsistently, in fact, sometimes rarely. So I'm going to try to clean it first. And if that doesn't work, don't have a lot of hope, but you're supposed to at least try. And then I'll probably order another laser. I prefer to keep it original if I can and see if I can clean the laser and just put some possibility that I can adjust the laser a little bit. I would prefer that over chunking it and getting a replacement if I can, just because I like to keep pieces of hardware running for as long as I can if I can. I don't know. It feels right. I hate throwing stuff away like that. Right. Talk about enemy planes, crashed into enemy planes. This text, true story. Tana says, I've never used that. Maybe if I get a PS2 again one day, I'll tap it. Absolutely, it's super easy too. All you really do is you go buy yourself a fast McBoot memory card, or you can make your own if you have your own. If someone already has a fast McBoot card and you have an 8 megabyte memory card, you can load it up on it. Or you can just order one of these, like $20. Comes with everything already installed on the software. And then if you do that, if you get something like, if you already have a hard drive in it, the PS2 could have a hard drive in it. It's potentially possible. Or what you can do is you can take a USB, plug it right. You got to format exFAT, I think, or FAT32. Plug that into your USB ports. There's a utility on the fast McBoot that allows you to copy from the USB, and you can update the fast McBoot software, firmware, all that stuff once you get to that point. And then you also can load, if you have like a card like this, you can put games, I believe, on the USB, but it's very poor performance. This is like USB 1. So ideally you could order one of these, under $10, $20. So basically if you find a PS2 FAT, this, functional, even if the laser's not working, if everything else works, then you can just you can pick up about $40 and you can load up your games all day long. And the PS2 is one of the tougher ones to emulate. It's one of the tougher ones to emulate. So I would recommend, if you're wanting to play some PS2 games, you go that route. I don't think you can shoot those down. Now, with ZAXXON, like some of the other shooters at the time, what was the side-scrolling shooter that came out right before this? You would shoot the fuel. That's how you fuel up your jet. You'll notice there's an altimeter on the left-hand side. If I stay at the top, which is what we generally seem to do when we're playing this, ZAXXON will send out a laser. So don't do that. I know you want to do that. It seems like the most natural thing to do. And we're going to run out of fuel, but we're going to run into the fortress wall there. But there's these enemy planes here. As you shoot those enemy planes, there'll be fewer to attend to. There'll be fewer to attend to later in the second phase. You'll also notice that there's a shadow that gives you an idea of where exactly. Big points, by the way. If you want to rack up some points, shoot those turrets or whatever, the tanks. Where are these exactly? Oh, what are not big points is getting shot. Look at that! Look at that Sega down there. That's a force field. Don't want to get hit by that. Oh. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Do we have enough fuel? We may have enough fuel, but there's also fuel up here. If you go down to about here. Oh, I missed it. All right. So if you check out your altimeter, right about there. Oh, I missed the tank again, though. Oh. You hear the noise, too? That noise lets you know you've locked on. So pretty cool that these ships are, like, at different heights. So kind of stay over this way. You'll make it to the Fortress 2. Oh. But you better pull up. You better pull up, though. You better pull up. This game's great. I think I mostly played it on the 2600, Tonda says, and I did too. And it's a much different game. It's not isometric. It is behind the cockpit or behind the ship itself. So it's more on the lines of like Space Harrier or something. It's not cool like ZAXXON. It's not isometric, right? And it was made by ColecoVision. So ColecoVision apparently had the home publishing rights for a good bit of the 8-bit computers and 8-bit consoles of the time. So they made the ColecoVision, or Coleco made the one for Atari. If I'm remembering all this correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. And it was not great. Not great. Puppy Kitten Chalk confirms though, but it was still fun on the 2600, absolutely. But it was just one of the better shooters on the Atari. It wasn't necessarily good ZAXXON, because to me ZAXXON is that, the name ZAXXON is a play on or an extension of Axon, which is the isometric view that they're using here, right? I think, or something like that. It was something like that. Yo, Puppy Kitten Trout. Yeah, I liked it all right. There was 2 versions for the Commodore 64 I learned today. It was one was diskette and one was cart. The cart one was developed by Sega, which I find kind of fascinating. The Commodore 64, this would have been the same time that Sega was probably trying to handle a couple of things at once. Sega was trying to enter the home market shortly, but they were still depending on Coleco to do some things, right? To really get them in the home market. I find it interesting they made a cart version. Sega did. But then they licensed out the diskette version. I gotta finish framing all that stuff by the end of the week. Was there ever a ZAXXON spinoff movie or cartoon? Great question, Puppy Kitten Trout. There was Super ZAXXON was not a spinoff, but the sequel, which was on the same hardware, just some upgrades to the colors, and it was a little faster. And we're going to look at that. Actually, no, that's not a bad idea. Maybe we should look at that now. Let me see if I can remember how to get the crap out of this one here. Let me see here. Burp, burp. Trying to remember what I set my daily to. Oh, might just be time to hit the power button. Boom, boom. Let's take a look at that real quick. Now, we haven't gotten to ZAXXON. ZAXXON's a robot in the first one. In Super ZAXXON, you actually fight a dragon is the boss. There's only there's 3... You call them stages? There's 3 stages, I guess it is stages. So you got the Fortress 1 in ZAXXON. Then you have the space battle, the dogfights in space that we just saw. There's a Fortress 3, which is a little bit harder than Fortress 1, or Fortress 2, excuse me. And then if you get to the end of that, you return to Fortress 1 and get to fight ZAXXON. Anyway, you get to fight ZAXXON on stage 4, the boss, essentially. Then if you beat him, repeat, faster, go, go, go. There was also, so you did ask about like kind of a spinoff. So there was a Future Spy it runs on the Sega ZAXXON hardware. And it's essentially same thing, right? Because it was very specific hardware. They use a very specific video setup. So it's pretty much the same. We're going to look at that one too this week. But as you can tell from the screenshot, probably it's basically ZAXXON on Earth. It's pretty cool because there's no altimeter, I don't think. So you don't adjust the height. But you do have a second button. That second button drops torpedoes that go through the water. So you got your standard shots, and then you got your torpedoes. So you line those up with ships and different things on the ground. It's just trying to compete with other shooters, but with a different look, right? A unique look. So this is Super ZAXXON right here. Oh, and so they did do 2-player. I did not realize that. So Super ZAXXON is a 1 or 2 player. So they added a second player. The first one was 1 player only, I believe, right? I think that's right. Let's just go back and make sure there. I think that was only, it was only a single player. That's what I thought. I didn't know they added a second player on Super ZAXXON. Didn't have any friends, so didn't know. Tonda says last time I played ZAXXON was in some arcade last year, but the stick was not in the best shape. So good news. I did some searching for ZAXXON in arcades. I think Arcade Museum has online. What's this Arcade Museum? Anyway, there's a website that I have bookmarked and it's called Arcade Museum, but it's not the URL. Anyway, point is, they typically have, in addition to how many of their users actually own the game, they also have places that you may be able to go play. One of the places is in Simpsonville, Tonda. I think you stopped at Simpsonville, which is only like an hour away from where I live. Very tempted to head up there. Just don't quite have enough time. If I'd have known beforehand, but definitely planned to have time before the show. I didn't find that out until yesterday. So unfortunately, won't actually get to go put my hands onto it until after the show, probably. Super ZAXXON is a 1 or 2 player video game that presents the player with tremendous challenge. Tremendous challenge. And excitement never before experienced. The three-dimensional like, because it ain't really three-dimensional. Projecting the picture at a slant. So that's the ZAXXON part, right? ZAXXON is projecting the picture at a slant on the screen. I think that's the thing, right? Putting the players in remote-controlled realism with his player chip. Tonda, did we go to the Simpsonville one? Was it in Simpsonville we went? It might have been, or was it Anderson? You think it was in Simpsonville? Might have been. It might have been in Simpsonville, come to think of it. I think you may be right. Is that the one we went to? I don't remember if they had. I don't remember seeing ZAXXON when we were there, though. Or if that information was outdated, or if I just didn't see the machine, because there was a lot to see and love. Look at this, by the way. Updated graphics. The fortress actually looks like a fortress this time, and you get to see ZAXXON up front. So this is your dragon, right? So I guess this is, so look at that little hex pad too. That's the same you'll see in the original as well. The original one has the ZAXXON creature, and it looks like the ship from Tron, essentially. Oh, but look at all these really cool, little city streets here of bombs and stuff. So if you never played Super ZAXXON, not nearly as popular as the original ZAXXON, but built on the same hardware, same concepts, just some color improvements, and as you can tell, one hell of a lot faster. This is real speed too. Like this is not sped up for bad emulation or anything. This is how fast it was. They did not like you keeping your quarters. So yeah, here you go. Some real deal ZAXXON. By the way, This is one of the few. If you're doing this, I'm actually playing this on my Atari VCS using Batocera. Batocera is a nice little front end to your emulation station. Essentially, it's like a little tie-in for emulation station if you ever use that, which is just a front end for RetroArch, or it's just a front end for your whatever your back end, cores are, emulators. Where was I going with that? I'm using FB Neo, so you can do MAME or you can do FB Neo. FB Neo is kind of is considered a branch of MAME. I'm not sure, but it's definitely another way that I play arcade ROMs. And I usually like it pretty good. I usually get the full non-merged versions because I don't want to have a whole bunch of ROMs. Whatever, we'll get to that discussion one day. But you'll need to use, it's one of the first ones I've done, this arcade that uses sample files. So if you are playing ZAXXON and you're not getting any sounds, you need to look for the sample files. Because this is a good one. I do like it. And with this one, I'm trying to remember if there's like a Super ZAXXON file. I don't think so. I think it just uses the original one. A front end for your back end. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, puppy. How much faster this is, but the graphics look so good. Oh, watch out for that force field. Oh, up. Look at that ZAXXON symbol, though. That is cool. I love that. Okay, I'm getting a little bit better. I'm still no good, but I'm getting a little bit better. Oh my! Had to go in the thing. This is actually my first time really playing Super ZAXXON more than 5 seconds. I'm closing in on 10 seconds, maybe. Oh no, pull up. Pull up. Alright, so I'm kind of saying in this... I'm assuming those egg-shaped things are replacing my fuel. I'm assuming. I'm not able to see because I'm trying not to die. Oh, boy. This game is evil. Oh, look at that. Man, this game just... I thought ZAXXON 1 was hard. Oh, got so excited. I was trying to get down as soon as possible. What if I just stay at the top? Will it do like the first one where it's just... ZAXXON will send a missile your way? Oh, I got in. I'm tunneling. Oh, man. It's pretty cool. All right, the good news is, if you die, you automatically refuel. Oh, man. That's too bad. Pretty tough. Pretty challenging. Super ZAXXON. Or ZAX off. Wonder why. Like I said, I meant to check beforehand. See what my hot button is. A hotkey. My hotkey. Let me see what my hotkey is here. Oh yeah, Tonda. The first one had perfect speed. It was just great. I mean, it's because there's a lot to take in because it's not real 3D, right? So you got to understand the visual language, which is the shadows that are being cast, let you know where you are in relation to the enemy planes and the height. You could just watch the altimeter. Altimeter. Now I can't say it. Now the word has lost all meaning. Altimeter? No, that's not the right word. What? It's one of those words, if you say it too many times, it loses all meaning and you can't find where the syllables go. Altimeter. Is that right? Altimeter? That doesn't sound right. Altimeter. Anyway, almometer. So the height measurement, you can see altimeter. Altimeter, that's right. So it'll just tell you low, high. And you can kind of see where you're at. Also, when you shoot the bullets, it gives you an idea of whether or not you can fly beneath the force field. So, like, if you're in the right level on the plane, not in the plane, but on the surface plane, if you're in the right height, when you're shooting your lasers and you need to go through, like, a force field, sometimes there's a gap that's so big. And only by the fact that you see where your shadow's at and whether the bullets go through and pass, that's when you know you're at the right height. So there's a lot of calculations you have to do in your head because you're not actually seeing 3 dimensions. Not only is you don't see 3 dimensions when we're looking at a screen anyway, but we've got so many better ways of representing it that we can kind of, intuit it much quicker than these isometric pseudo 3D kind of thing. So when the speed increases like that, it gets rough. Oh, hi, Zoe. If you could pronounce something, just call it bacon. If you can't pronounce them, just call it bacon. The bacon meter. Mitsula, what are you doing? You're a mom tier. Mama tier. You're a mama tier. Oh, thank you for still loving me. Thank you for still loving your kooky favorite retro. I keep trying to paint myself in a corner and say favorite retro streamer, but that's Tonda, so can't claim that. Your favorite retro historian. There, I dig deeper than most. How about that? All right, let me get out of this screen here. Not that Tonda doesn't dig deep. Tonda's just more lovable. I'm more prickly. Final Burn Neo. Let's take a look to see if let me take a look here, there, where controller. I just want to see which ones is my hotkey. I want to see which one's the hotkey. That one, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Is it one of these deals? Not that. That? Sure. I don't want to have to map all my stuff again. I need to know so I can exit out of the stupid screens because otherwise I have to hold down the power button. By the way, I have several versions too. By the way, I'm not sure what the version differences are, but I went to Retro Achievements. This is usually the first thing I do whenever I'm looking in my collections of ROMs. I go, are retro achievements important to me this time around? I go, okay, yeah. And then I go to retroachievements.org and I look to see what ROM file it is because they have very specific ROM files. You always got to be playing the same ROM file, same hashes and everything. So I go and make sure I have the right one. And all 3 of these versions were listed on there, but I didn't see any specifications about what the differences are. I'm sure there are probably improvements. Captain says ZAXXON for the C64 is how you test the PLA and PLA replacements. It has some tricky timing. Interesting. I did not know that, Captain Kipper. That's good. But the question is, Captain Kipper, is that the diskette ZAXXON version? Or is that the Sega official cartridge version? Or does it matter? Cartridge. Okay. I figured it would be. Still, I did not know that. Very interesting. Avian says, oh, Final Burn. Yeah, I like Final Burn Neo, if I can. But I said Final Furry. The Chung Lee look-alike made me go, yeah. No, Final Burn Neo. FB Neo. That's the way to go. We played this for a minute. We're going to play some more this week too, but I was just kind of making sure my hardware is working. For those who are just tuning back in, I finally got my hard drive back in for my stream machine. I had to reinstall everything. Seems to be working okay so far. Still have a couple of hiccups I'm working on. But for the most part, it looks good. And let's see. Let's take a look at this really quick. This is the Future Spy. This is also built on the same board. It's a ROM swap, I believe. All right. Future Spy. Gonna look a lot like ZAXXON because that's what this board was built for. Future Spy. Look how vertical it is, too. Insert my coins. Don't mind if I do. Look at this. Sega 1984. Oh, do we not have any coin drop noises? Do I need sample files? Or the sample file? Oh, sample file's there. Okay. Okay. So in this one, there's no up and down to worry about, but you'll see down there at the bottom. Oh, so I just dropped a torpedo. A torpedo. So you see a little crosshair down there, so we can. All right, got that. I just sunk his battleship. Oh, then he sunk my spaceship. Yeah, right. So River Raid. All right, so there's some helicopters. I don't understand why I'm red and the enemy is red too. Now, you can at least... Can I speed up and slow down? Oh, shoot. There we go. Oh, I missed. All right, so we got some silos here. Oh, boy. There we go. Nailed it that time. So we're still working on the fuel mechanic as well. Oh, those are just direct bombs. Oh, did I run out of... Did I run out of the chaser torpedoes? And we do get a high score screen this time. Oh, and it's only left, right. You can't go up through the things. And they do have a delete instead of rub. Interesting. Timer says 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. There's some other people who did better than I did. For some reason, my retro achievements are not working here, which is fine. So we do have 2 players optional, looks like. All right, fleet 3. So I have 3 fleet. Oh, I missed that one. Let's get this battleship up here. Okay, so I'm assuming those are lock-ons. So you see that there? Oh, my shadow. You got to keep your shadow out of that lock-on. So, did you notice that the little orange or I'm sorry, yellow thing pops up? They must only have so many of these. I got that one. Got that. Once again, I'm not sure if that's affecting my... Okay, got that. That's pretty good. Can't go up or down, so it's all got to either be in my face. Oh, no. Oh, locked on. It locked on. You see that? Uh-oh. Oh, we got some blimps. Look at this. Oh, I got some more jets coming in on me. Interesting. Oh, got a cloud up here. Got this fool down here. Okay, definitely want to stay out. Keep your shadow out of the orange. Not your ship, but the shadow has to stay out of the orange. I think. Oh, it's daylight. Got a day-night cycle in that. Look at that. Is that crazy or what? You can move forward and backwards. Cannot move higher and lower, though. Got some submarines. Oh, what are those? Oh. Those are sub-to-air missiles. Oh, and they got me. Look at that. Sector 7, what's up? When I was a kid, says Sector 7, my cousin had to have open heart surgery. It was scary. We spent a lot of time at the Houston Ronald McDonald House. Oh, interesting. Houston Ronald McDonald House. Very good. They had a ZAXXON arcade cabinet in the rec room. We were both terrible at it. I think everybody is terrible at ZAXXON because really it's all about the gimmick, right? And it's just early 3D essentially. uh, isometric, making use of, trying to figure out how shadows relate is just very rudimentary, essentially. Isometric is hard. But they really tried to apply some things here that it was the best kind of 3D we could get at the time, right? We already had the vertical shooter, we had the horizontal shooter. What was left? Let's go. Let's project it kind of like angled like this, and then throw some shadows in there and altimeter, and throw some other wrinkles in there. So there you go. Captain says, wait, did you just torpedo Nessie? If that's what it takes. I know, and they're pretty cool, Tonda. The little spotlight you have for the night parts, that was pretty cool. But yeah. Diagonal. Say diagonally. Diagonally shooter. But yeah. I'm a big fan of ZAXXON, right? I mean, who's not a big fan of ZAXXON? And I actually appreciate this. I actually feel like I'm going to say actually one more time. I feel like I'm getting a pretty good value for my order here. Unlike Super ZAXXON, where I'm getting super ripped off. I mean, this is kind of a nice, slow shooter. It's not bad. I mean, it's because sometimes shooters can be way overpaced. Let's see if we can blow up that bridge. Get points for that? I don't know. We definitely need some fuel, though. Woo, getting low. Oh. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, look at that. Should have knocked down the watchtower. Does it say good on it? I like that idea that it says good. They should have put bon. Very French. No Sega of America at this point, right? I think it was this Sega Japan making arcade games, teaming up with Namco when they could. ColecoVision, whoever have them at home. Pretty neat though. I like it. I'm a little frustrated though because I haven't got it to work yet. Matter of fact, let's fire this up just real quick. I'll show you what I'm dealing with. If any of you guys out there know what to do. So let's see here. This is set over here to the PS2. There we go. So we got our OPL. Gonna boot this up. Now I have the Sega Genesis collection. I used to say, but Brian, the Genesis never had a ZAXXON port. You're correct. But if you were able to get one Chaos Emerald, here we get a Chaos Emerald in Sonic, it will unlock the arcade version of that. Problem is, I went ahead and ordered this hard drive because for some reason the ROM I have is not functioning, and I've looked at a bunch of the settings and everything on how to launch this. I'm just not having any luck. You'll see what I mean. Sonic he starts to run in place and he doesn't do anything. And what that probably indicates to me, I got the PlayStation 2 logo. Wow. I've actually launched the game in other places. There's Ethan. I'll call him back very shortly. So it gets stuck on this now loading screen. Now, my suspicion is that it doesn't like something about what is checking with the memory card. So the first thing this program does is I've tried it on other emulators. The first thing it does is it tries to load up a previous save. For Sector 7, there was a board game, ZAXXON board. It's a whole bunch of extra stuff for ZAXXON they made for a while. Sega was really, really into it. But essentially, the way I have this set up, OPL can either use a virtual memory card or it can use a physical memory card. Now, I've actually pulled, I'm using that word a lot today, actually. I've pulled out this memory card. This is the FastMac boot. Once I've booted into the OPL, it's all loaded into the memory and everything, and I can actually unplug this and plug in a proper 8 megabyte memory card, right? Which is the most compatible with all ROMs or most games for the PlayStation 2. That was the smallest one, the one that came with the original. But I still have no joy when I tried that. I've also tried using virtual memory cards, but it's definitely getting hung up somewhere when it's trying to read the memory. And I've tried a couple of different versions of OPL and I haven't had any luck. I went through a compatibility grid, and I did find where it was totally compatible. This ROM was totally compatible with an older version, but a much older version of OPL. I mean, like way, like 6 years old or something. Way old, maybe even older than that. I'm not having much luck there. Ethan has now called me and texted me, so that can only mean one thing. It must be an emergency. Let's see. Oh, no big deal. He's saying, sorry, I didn't know you're streaming. No big deal. He must also be tuned in too. Legit Sony memory card with Magic Gate. Right, Captain Kipper. That's right. So, that's what you'll need if you want to make your own FastMac boot too, by the way. You'll need a legit Sony memory card with Magic Gate. But yes, I do have a legit memory card, and I tried that, and I just didn't have any luck. So I don't know what I got to do. But you can unlock it if you get a Chaos Emerald from the Sega game. It will unlock it. It's the unlockable. You know what I really hate though? I hate freaking unlockable. I hate when you lock my content behind something stupid. I want to play it. Jerks. I hate when they do that crap. Trying to hacker crap. Oh, by the way, also I printed this. I already have some silver ones and stuff, but I printed this. Let's see if all of our little OBS Stream Deck stuff works. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. There we go. Yeah, I got my little PlayStation 2. Printed this on my little filament printer. Nice little controller stand there. I got a silver one for my Silver Slim as well. Oh, pretty. Oh, very pretty. Let's look at top down. Let's take a look at it top down. Pretty, but still, you get the idea. You get the idea. It's like a bra for your. Yeah, it is. It cradles. It does. It cradles the undercarriage there, right? It does very well. Boink. Like that. My Stream Deck still works very good. It lifts and separates as you should. So I did not get the network adapter, Captain Kipper. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Glad to bring it up again because I want to keep on exploring ideas of where to get my retro gear other than Amazon. You would think this would be the network, right? Because it's got the ubiquitous do not plug a phone cable into the network port. And they went through all the effort of printing up this sticker, but it actually includes no network. It's a faker. It's a big old fat faker. So this is actually, I guess they could argue they wanted it to look realistic on the outside, I suppose. But yeah, so this is a SATA adapter. Of course, these I believe were IDE originally, and it would come with the network adapter / ID hard drive adapter, and you would use the old larger hard drives. This is of course the smaller SSD, but it's what I got. I'm going to do I'm going to 3D print a little bracket for that. But I need to find. I thought this was going to have the network in it, and it did not. So I was a little disappointed. Not a big deal. Yours is ID, right? Wah, wah, wah. What a bunch of crap. I got robbed. I got robbed. It's no big deal. I could have sent it back, of course, but I'm like, you know what? I got a couple of fatties. I don't need to have network in all of them. So I'm just gonna keep it because it ain't worth. I think it's like $20 or something like that, if even that much. So I'm like, it's not worth sending it back. Just use it the time I send it back, and then go. I should have just kept that, and I guess. I don't know why I ordered it from Amazon anyway. It's like I felt like I needed to get it in a hurry for some reason, and then I got it, and I was like, I'm not ready to put this in yet. I'm like, why did I order it from Amazon? I should be supporting some of my other people out here. You need a compatibility drive. The power and the IDE plug spacing need to match the drive, says Captain Kipper. That's right. Check Goodwill. I've checked Goodwill. I keep my eyes out for cables and adapters and anything that looks like PS2 adjacent stuff, but I have not. ZAXXON, Zax off. Avian, that's right. Etsy has some weird retro gear adapters. That's not a bad idea. I didn't think about that sector. That was one place I didn't think about. That's actually a really good place. Avian says, no, you absolutely were not, Avian. I've said it the whole week. What are you playing this week? I'm playing ZAXXON, Zax off. I can't stop. It's constantly. That's where you got yours years ago. Every once in a while I get lucky with some stuff at thrift stores and stuff. Like, as a matter of fact, if we weren't doing space this week, if we weren't all over space and just got done doing Space Quest, I'm really wanting to get into this I just found. No, I'm sorry. This I just found recently, and that's kind of interesting to me. I find this fascinating. I don't remember anything about this one. This little floppy in there and everything. I'm interested in diving deeper. I know absolutely almost nothing about this. This is, I know what this is in reference to in the lore of Star Trek, but I know almost nothing about the Star Trek. But this is like everybody's favorite. This is the Star Trek 25th anniversary. If you ask Trekkies, what's one of the best Trek games of all time? It's the Star Trek 25th anniversary Interplay, when Interplay was doing some Star Trek stuff. In it's got a CD, got some floppy disk that came with it. This was a not a Goodwill find, but it was a thrift store find. Also came with some Software Labs floppies that were totally not related to the game itself. How about some micro firmware? How about a Y2K test? How about that? Check and make sure your computer's Y2K compliant. And really, this one comes with the CD. So, if we had not just did space stuff so much, I probably need to get back to fantasy. Probably need to do some fantasy stuff here in the next couple of weeks. Just some race cars, some something not all sci-fi. Right, Tonda has the real voices. That's right. That's one of the touting things about this one. It's got the and that's format, right? It's the CDs, right? Oh, look, yeah, it probably even says it right there. Does it say, oh yeah, all digitized speech, featuring the voices of William Shatner, Bill. Good old Bill. Look at that. I'm looking forward to that in a couple of weeks. What else we got? All right. Well, you know what? We had a successful test. I've been looking at my schedule, and I know it's been off a little bit lately, and so I'm trying to stabilize that. And one of the options may be to switch to Tuesday, Thursday instead of Monday, Wednesday. Now, I also do alternating Fridays where we do the Play Retro show and we do community events and stuff. But my big 2 stream nights have been Monday, Wednesday, but those have been kind of iffy lately. Tuesdays and Thursdays have been a little more solid. I would have more success if I move to the Tuesday, Thursday night. So stay tuned. I'm finding a way to stream, whether it continues to be on Monday, Wednesday, or if it needs to move to Tuesday, Thursday to become more consistent. Biggest thing is being consistent. So we're going to try to do that. So I'll be back. Might be back tomorrow. keep an eye out. I'll post on social media. I'll post on the Discord server. I'll just kind of I'll just kind of let everybody know. Right. So we may be back tomorrow night. I I would say Wednesday, but Wednesday's shaping it to be pretty poor excuse for a Wednesday. So, but I'll let you know by the end of the week for sure. But just keep an eye out. We'll get it straightened out, and we'll be back on a consistent, steady schedule. In the meantime, we're gonna raid in our good friend, Pass the Plunger. Haven't raided in on him for a while, so let's do just that. Great retro streamer, plays all kinds of real hardware stuff. Does a podcast with another great retro streamer, Mr. Steve J. And they kind of do like a serial kind of podcast thing they do on YouTube. So ask them about that. It's awesome. But Julio Games is over there. Let's do it.